Good afternoon, everyone. This is the team announcement for the second test against the British and Irish Lions. Yes, there's been a couple of changes, and I'm just going to read out the changes. There's been 3 changes in the starting team. Firstly, there's an injury force change in the loosehead position, where Steven Kitshoff comes on from the bench for the injured Jacques Nienaber. He unfortunately got injured in the first half in one of the scrums. And then Frans Malherbe gets promoted from the bench, starting at tight head for us. And then the last change in the starting lineup is Jasper Wiese, who moves into the 8th-man position. And then the changes on the bench is Vincent Koch comes in for obviously Steven getting promoted to the starting lineup, and for the injured Jacques Nienaber, so Vincent comes in on the bench. And then we are going with a 6-2 split. Marco van Staden comes in on the bench, and Kwagga, who started at 8, moves down to the bench. So that is the starting 23 for the second test against the British and Irish Lions.
Thank you, Springbok head coach Jacques Nienaber. Ladies and gents, if you're on our mailing list, the full team will be should be in your inbox by now. Right, we go over to Matthew Pearce of our house broadcaster Supersport. Matthew, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Rayan, Rassi, Jacques. Jacques, first of all, could you just tell us a little bit more about the injury to Oxenche?
Yes, Matt. Unfortunately, he got injured just before the end of the first half in one of the scrums. Just before the end of the first half, like I say, I don't want to delve too much into that, but unfortunately, he sustained an injury that forced him into earlier substitution on match day. And he hasn't recovered fully to participate in this week.
And if we stay with the front row, Steven, obviously then an injury-enforced change. Frans Malherbe on the tight head. Just what are you looking for from them as starters, and conversely from Vincent and Trevor on the bench?
Matt, listen, obviously we want to lay a nice foundation with that starting front row of us. Like I said last week, we're fortunate in that we in our front row, 1, 2, and 3, both starting and on the bench. These 3 guys know that they've got a specific role they have to play, almost similar to the group that started last week. And then we're fortunate that we have Trevor and Vince and Malcolm that can come on whenever they need it, in the second half. So like I said, we like to see our front row, the front row as working in tandem, and very excited to see Frans and Kitsy starting with Bongi this weekend.
I guess the biggest selection of all for everybody will be that of Jasper Wiese outside of the 23 last week and straight into the starting lineup, but Kwagga Smith not taken out altogether. Could you just...
Did I have Oxenche in the team that you sent me?
Sorry, Matt.
Sorry, there was an interruption there. So Jasper Wiese, what has brought about his selection from what you've seen with him in training, in the test against Georgia, his role with the SAA team, that he gets the opportunity to start in such a massive test match?
Yeah, obviously Jasper was part of our plans. He played in the test match against Georgia for us, came off the bench there, Kwagga started. So it's a nice combination for us in terms of having Kwagga and Jasper. Jasper's main role will be for us to same as what Kwagga did last week for us, getting momentum and stopping momentum for us. We feel he had another week of training with us. He was actually, if there was any sickness or illnesses last week, he was playing at 24, 25. So he was there and thereabout with the squad of last week. he had another week of preparation with us, getting used to the environment, getting used to how we do things. And yes, I think it's nice having him, giving him a start, and then we can use Kwagga for all his speed and impact that he brings off the bench for us this weekend. And we feel that's playing to our strength. And yeah, so I'm happy for Jasper. Like I said, he worked hard, and it's going to be nice to see him participating in a huge game like this.
You mentioned the 6-2 split on the bench, Jacques. Just two different forwards to what we experienced at Rugby World Cup in that 6-2 split. Sort of Kwagga and Marco van Staden included there. And perhaps a second part to the question on the bench is the responsibility on Damian Willemse to provide that sort of multifaceted cover as the second backline replacement.
Yeah, I'll probably start, Matt, with Damian Willemse. Obviously, Damian now has participated in almost all the games that we've played, so he's been training as a 12, as a 15, and as a 10, almost similar what Frans Steyn gave us in the World Cup. And I mean, I think his form just amplifies his selection currently. So he's a versatile guy for us, and we feel that it's now obviously he's been introduced into the various roles that he has to fulfill for us now in the last couple of weeks that we've been training, and we're comfortable now that he can slot in at 15, 10, 12. So he covers us in all three of those positions. Yes, and like you said, I think with the inclusion of Marco and Kwagga, I think there will be some nice energy and that we can inject in the second half.